Hi guys, welcome to another video. I hope you've been doing well. Little bit of a disclaimer, there is some construction going on like in my neighborhood, so if you do hear it in the background, yeah, sorry, can't really do much about it and we need to record. I've been delaying recording this video for the last like 3 or 4 days because the weather has been really rainy, and so it's really dark outside very early in the day, and I can't do anything about it, so I haven't been able to record. But I can't delete it. I can't delete anymore. Um, Otherwise, I won't be able to post a video this Friday. So yeah. As you can probably see from the title, I'm going to be starting this new annually thing of telling you all the books that I want to read during the year. Last year I had a huge list, like I still have it written down. I can probably check it. I have it right here in my little notebook, so it's probably in the early pages. Exactly. So I had like a huge list of all the books that I wanted to read throughout the year. The first one being Crescent City, like the trilogy. I read only the first book, so I did get one of those down. I had the Ali Hazelwood books that were coming out last year, and I did read those. I had some Emily Henry books. I didn't touch any of those. The Seleri Trilogy, I only read one of the books, so there you go. I had the Thursday Murder Club books. I didn't touch them. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, I also didn't touch. Heartstopper, I did read. The King of Scars Duology by Leigh Bardugo, I didn't touch. The rest of the Witcher books, I also didn't touch them. And the rest of the Spidery Chronicles, I think I read like one. Why am I so to decide? I think I read one, and I didn't read the rest. So the list was very long, and most of those books were really long, especially the Crescent City ones. So I am not going to be here and saying like, yeah, that was a super easy challenge. It wasn't, especially if you do more than just read, which is most people's cases. I like to watch movies, I like to watch TV shows. I enjoy also playing games and doing other hobbies of mine, so obviously I didn't spend most of my time reading. If I did, I probably could have gone through the list because it weren't there weren't that many books, let's be honest. But most people probably read like one book a month. So this year I decided I was going to be more conscious of the books that I really wanted to read and why I wanted to read them. And I have it right here, and we'll go through those. And I also decided that I wanted to amplify my enjoyment for other genres. So I am trying to stop reading as much fantasy and as I normally am, and I just want to dive into more like either non-fiction books or just normal fiction, and classics, which I feel like it's going to be a struggle, but I want to try. So there's that. Um, and also I want to put it here that the Goodreads challenge is a thing. I always do it. I've started doing it since either 2019 or when did I'm not sure when I started using Goodreads because I wasn't really using it that much, but either between 2019 and 2021, that's when I started using it, probably. I hope so. If it wasn't during that time, it was probably in 2022. It was between 2019 and 2022, and I remember doing the challenge and being like, oh yeah, this is like a great motivator. And the last year, it was actually like a huge challenge because I felt obligated to complete the challenge. And so this year I decided I'm going to do what most people do, which is either not doing the challenge or just putting one book on the challenge. And that's what I did. I put one book. I finished my 2025 challenge. I've read one book this year. um, I'll probably talk about it in my favorites of January, but there you go. I read one book, and I feel like that's the most important thing. You should be reading books for your own enjoyment and not to um, finish a challenge. That's what I'm trying to say. Obviously, if you enjoy doing that and you feel like it's a good motivator, you should be doing it. In my case, it wasn't. It was the first year. I thought it was really fun. There was a year that I finished 25 books or something, which is a lot for me as a person that doesn't really read uh, as much as other people. I've seen people here on YouTube, creators that I follow, that read like 30, 50. There's one person that read like 98 books, and other people that read like hundreds of books during the year. And I'm like, okay, that's wonderful for you. I feel like that's nice. But also, I take in mind that maybe the books that these people are reading are like 200 pages books, or are like not really fairy porn, but like very smutty books that don't really have much of a story. And I'm not judging. I feel like that's wonderful if you enjoy those books, but I also feel like sometimes people feel really like down because, oh my god, this person has read so many books and I can't even finish like 15 books a year. Maybe the books you're consuming are more intense and more chunky than the books that other people are reading. So don't feel unmotivated by that. It's just a number. It's fine if you only read one book during the whole year. If that's what you enjoy, and if it was a book that you enjoyed, I feel like that's the most important thing. So, with that all out of the way, I am going to tell you all the books that I want to read this year. I still want to read the books that I put on my last year list, but this year, I want to read books by authors that I like, either stories that I know I'm going to enjoy, or just want to finish my actual physical to be read list, so I can actually say, oh yeah, I've read all the books in my bookcase, which is something that everyone says and never accomplishes. But I want to make that list smaller because at this point I have like 130-ish books, and I feel like I've only read like maybe 30 or 50 of those, and I really want to get closer to the 100 mark. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So the first books that I have on my list are actually by Heather Fawcett. So I really enjoyed Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I felt like it was a wonderful book, and I want to read the two other books this year. I already have the second one physically, so that's a bonus for my list. And I'm probably going to be getting the third one if I can get my hands on the US version, because I'm collecting the US version. So yeah, those are the two books that I want to read. I actually started reading a little bit of the second one last year, but then all my exams started and I kind of felt unmotivated to read, and I just want to get over all of my exams. So yeah, there's that. The second one is actually, I'm really motivated to start reading this one. I've talked with my friends about it, and it's the Brandon Sanderson books. So I have the Mistborn Trilogy physically, so I really want to start reading those. I thought about reading The Way of Kings, but the Mistborn Trilogy, I feel like it's more inside of the type of genre of books I like to read. So I feel like I'm going to be enjoying those way more. And it's a nice way of starting to get into Brandon Sanderson books. So that's what I'm going to try to read. I also am going to try to make my partner read those, because I feel like he's really going to enjoy reading the books. I feel like he might actually enjoy reading The Way of Kings more than the Mistborn Trilogy, but we'll see. He already has one of Brandon Sanderson's books. He has Trust of the Emerald Tree, I think that's the name of the book. He hasn't touched it yet. He has like a really long list of books to read also, because I'm always giving him books. But yeah, me and my friends are probably going to be reading those books soon. So it's like a readathon with them. I feel like it's going to be really enjoyable. So Brandon Sanderson. The next one, I got these books for my birthday, and it's the Poppy War Trilogy. Um, I had these books in my list for a long time to read, and I really wanted to do it physically because I really wanted to annotate them. Not with a pen. I haven't changed my mind. I still will not annotate my books in that way, but I like to put the little, not stickers, those, you know what I'm talking about. There you go. I really like doing that with my books now, and it doesn't damage them. So I really wanted to do that to those books. Damn, that was hard. So I really want to do that to them. Tá difícil. That's why I haven't read them yet. But I feel like I'm going to really enjoy the story and get a little depressed by the ending. Or by the ending or by the end of the books. But I have that on my list. And I also have another one of her books that are going to come out this year, which is Katabasis. Katabasis. I don't know that book, and I feel like it's going to be really, really nice. I saw her talking about the books on an interview, and I've also read the synopsis. Is it synopsis? I think it's synopsis of the book, and it seemed really interesting. It's a little bit more inside of fantasy, and it seemed nice. And I really like her books. I feel like her books are really a nice type of read. So yeah, there you go. I have 4 of her books to read this year. Let's see if I'll be able to accomplish those. Next, I got these books last year, and I really, really want to read them because I also have them in audiobook form, and it's the Raven Boy Cycle. I've also had these books in my list, like my wishlist like to read for a long time, because one of my friends told me about the books, and I felt like they were really nice inside of a fantasy. I thought they were like a dark type-ish of fantasy. She told me they weren't, so I'm just like, what are the books about? Because I listened to like 20 minutes, 20 minutes? Maybe like an hour. I listened to like an hour of the first book last year, and it seemed really intriguing. But since I was already reading like other books at the time, I just want to get a little glimpse of it and make sure that I really want to read the books, so I would get all of them, and so I did. Most of the books that I'm mentioning here, I already have them. Like all of these books, I have them in physical form, so I'm getting that accomplishment that I want to read the books I have physically. Next one on my list, I have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I got this book for my birthday. I know it's chunky, and I know it's a bit intense. Let's see how I feel about it, because yeah, it's fiction. I don't really read a lot of just normal fiction, so let's see. I think I might enjoy it. it just might be a little bit hard to get through it, probably because it's a really intense book. But yeah, Secret History. I have The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. It's a really short book. I showed it in my book haul from last year, from like a book festival that we have here. Book festival, book fair, whatever it was. And it's short. It's by Neil Gaiman. I like his books, so I want to read it. It's really fast. I might actually do it this month. I just need to find the motivation to start reading it. But yeah, that's the one. The next one, I really want to read this one for like a long time. I just haven't had the time to do it. Like I thought about it, but then I forgot about it. And recently, in one of my uni classes, we talked about the book, and I was just so very much intrigued by it. And I didn't know it was so small. Like, it's not 100 pages, it's a little bit longer. Um, but I thought it was like a 500 to 600 page book, and it's not. It's shorter. It's like half that size, and it's The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Um, as a translation student, we have some classes, not some, most of my classes are about translating text either from English or from Portuguese or from German and into the opposite languages. Um, and we didn't translate a passage from The Handmaid's Tale, but we talked about this type of books because we did a translation about similar books, and I really enjoyed it. And then I read the synopsis and I was like, okay, this is like a really interesting book, so I put it on my list. And since it's a short read, I feel like I can accomplish that this year. This one I don't have physically. I'm putting that disclaimer now. But I just really want to read it, and so I added it to the list. Next one, because I obviously just had to read this goddamn book, and it's Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, or Wet. It also has that title. It's coming out this February. I really want to read it because it's an Ali Hazelwood book. There is also, like, I will also have two other books of hers in my list. So she released an audiobook last year. It was either in November or December, which I haven't listened to. It's really short. It's like 4 hours. I have that on my list, but I didn't put it here because I feel like I'm just going to listen to it so quickly that I'm not going to consider it like a book I need to read, you know? It's more like, okay, I'm doing stuff, I'll just put it in the background and listen to it. And another one, it's actually like a Christmas-ish book of hers. She did like a collection of stories with other authors. I think I talked about it in another video. But it's like less than 100 pages. It's like an 80-page story during Christmas, and I think Emily Henry and other authors, oh my god, authors, yeah, and I think other authors did the book with her. Oh my god, I'm having such a struggle talking about this. And so that's also so small that I'm not considering it like a really intense book, so I have those two to read. And now this year she's coming out with Deep End, that I'm going to be reading this February when it comes out. And also I know her, she probably is going to come out with another book during this year. Probably, I hope so, please do. And so if she does, I'll probably also read it. So there's that. Oh, there's that. That's it. My dog is barking. And that's it. That's all the books that I actually want to read this year. So it's not a lot. It's 1, 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17. 17 books, which is it's a really nice number. I think it was 2 years ago I read 15 books a year, so 17 is already a really nice size. Yeah, it's a nice size. So those are the ones that I really want to read. I'll probably be reading other books throughout the year also. So I've already read one. I'm currently reading another. I already told you that I'm going to be reading other 2 books of Ellie Hazelwood's. Ellie Hazelwood's? Does that make sense? And so that's my list. I have other interesting books in my bookshelf that I feel like they're so chunky that I don't want to touch them yet. Not yet. I might feel different during summer or in like May. I feel like, no, not May, April. I feel like April is a month that I really read a lot of books. I'm not sure why. It just happens every year. I'm not even on vacation. It's probably procrastination because in May I have all of my exams. So maybe it's because of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, you don't need to feel obligated to read a lot of books during the year. Just read the ones you're interested in and kind of just ignore all the other people if you feel like that unmotivates you in enjoying the books you're reading. And even if you just read manga or really smutty books, that's the ones you enjoy. So the most important thing is you're reading the things that you enjoy and you're taking pleasure in. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's book talk and a lot of people are not really interested in that. Since the videos that I get more interaction with are my vlogs and my monthly favorites, but I really enjoy talking about books, and so I am doing the videos that I enjoy, like I've always said in every single of my videos. So yeah, a lot of book content is probably going to be coming out in the next few months and weeks and whatever. So I hope you stick to me. I hope you stick to me. I hope you stick around to watch my videos because I feel like they're very interesting. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.